Good afternoon, everybody. Or yes, no, it's good morning, I guess. My bad. Here at Courtesy Nissan here in Mesa, getting some work done on my vehicle. Transmission flush and a brake flush. If you can do these things on your own and you have the tools to do so, by all means, do it yourself. Save yourself some money. But I don't have the tools and basically don't have the time. I might be headed to Colorado any day now due to personal business. So I wanted to get out here and put a video in today about upkeep on your vehicle. That's what I'm doing here today. You have to take care of your vehicle. Sometimes it may look like it's costly, but it's more costly not doing something, not keeping your, especially here in Arizona. Every summer you should have your air conditioning checked. I did mine back in, actually May I did mine. Prior to it, just, hey, checked everything out, made sure it was good. And that I did myself because I knew how to do what I needed to do. And I always told people this with bikes, one of the things, especially since this vehicle is still under warranty, you want to do things when they're supposed to be done, because what happens is, and it happens, I know it happened here when I was in the motorcycle business, is you don't do things when you're supposed to do things. The warranty doesn't cover it because you weren't taking care of your end of the bargain by taking care of your vehicle. Okay, so just remember that. If you have a newer type vehicle or anything that's still under warranty, or even under, extended warranties and stuff like that. A lot of companies, once they find out, oh, you mean you had your transmission failed, yet you never once had a transmission flush done on it, that, hey, maybe when they were doing the flush, they may have, and like I said, it's a risk every time you come in, just for like kind of routine type stuff, that, hey, they might find something developing. Probably if they find it on the early stage, like I said, especially if it's under warranty, it gets covered. Whereas if you don't and you wait, and hey, it's still under warranty, but something that was supposed to happen at 50,000 miles and it's now 65 or 70,000 miles, and they find this problem, but yet you didn't come in for the 50,000, where, hey, we may have detected it, maybe could have done something earlier for you. That's just it. So remember, a lot of warranties require you to upkeep your vehicle. And if you do stuff on your own and stuff's under warranty, I always told people, hey, you can do that. Just keep very good records. Keep receipts that, hey, if you do your own oil changes, keep the receipts that, hey, I did my oil changes, and mark what mileage they were done on. Okay. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people do that. Also, I want to talk about minimum fare. You need to have yourself a minimum fare. Now, under the rate card and under the on-demand rides and scheduled rides, that base fare that you see, that's the minimum fare. I call it the say hello fare. So as soon as I roll up and hit start ride, it's an automatic $7.50, $10, $10 or $15, depending on what platform you're on. I call it the say hello fee. Now, I have a minimum fare as well. My minimum fare is $25 on a private ride, which means, hey, if I were to pick you up here at Courtesy Nissan and take you up to on the border for lunch, while you're waiting here for your vehicle, it's going to cost you $25 if I do it as a private driver. So, now, what is that? That kind of protects me from getting these rides that may be 2 miles, 3 miles. Like I said, a lot of my people live within 4 or 5 miles of the airport. So to do those rides, it only net me maybe $15, $16, $17 if I use the rate card. So I'm actually protecting myself for those rides where they can be worth something. And most of those rides too, I don't expect a tip, but I do get them. Trust me, I do get them. I literally drove one guy to the airport, Mesa Airport, and he wanted to give me $50. I said, no, here, that's $20 too much. It's only a $30 ride. And literally, he lived about 5 miles away from us. It's $30. And he goes, no, your service is worth it. So once again, that also backs up my thing. And when I say if your service backs up your quote, you never have to worry about your quote. Also, that being said, when you provide a great service to people, they will reward you for it. I had a gentleman that picked up at Sky Harbor, took him back out here to Apache Junction, and the normal charge was going to be $60. It's $60 at the airport. When I take him there, him and his wife, but this is him and his granddaughter returning from, it was just a short flight. And they had to check their bags. They had carry-on bags, but they had to check them because they were on one of those little small commuter jets from American, and they had a long wait in the luggage line. And I said, hey, that's no problem. And I kept telling them, hey, no problem. It's not crowded out here. Like sometimes when you get in at 9 p.m. at night, you notice, hey, man, there's everybody and their grandmas out there at those rideshare pickup areas. Everybody's out there. So when you're sitting out there and you're waiting for people, and then there's all kinds of cars out there too. But hey, so I try, when I have those type of pickups, I try to time it just right where, hey, I'm there no longer than 5 minutes at the most. But anyway, so it was a good, he even told me, hey, we're here, baggage claim, and it was 20 minutes before they actually came out from baggage claim. And he was like, man, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry you had to wait. I said, no, it's no problem. I said, don't worry about it. And when I got home, or got him to his house, he was like, hey, I know it's normally 60, but here's 75 because you had to wait. And I was like, dude, seriously, it's what I get paid for. Okay? Remember, I've always said that's why I'm always early, is because I need to be waiting on you not waiting on me. So anyway, that being said, also why I have people text me came into play the other day. Right after I did that ride, I went home and it was good to go, and got a call from one of my clients saying, where are you? And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know how I missed this. Well, come to figure out, she didn't give me the right dates. And I showed it to her in one of her texts saying, hey, because right after I got done talking to her, because I was really upset with myself, missing a client like that never happens. So I sent her a text, showing the text that she told me she was coming in the next day. Because right after I got off the phone with her, banging my fist against my head saying, what are you thinking? Why didn't you catch this? My plane finder app sent me a text saying, hey, your plane for tomorrow is now being tracked. It's going to take off from this gate. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. Okay, so and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I went back to her text and just make sure, hey, I didn't read it wrong. I saw, oh, she said the 22nd, and she called me on the 21st. So I sent her a text. I made a screenshot of that. Sent her a text saying, hey, I am sorry, but you gave me the 22nd, so I was planning on you being here tomorrow. I apologize if I didn't pick up on anything else that may have said, hey, it was going to be today, but here we go. And she's like, man, I totally apologize. I will double check my dates the next time I send you a text. And she's a gal that, hey, she's already sent me a trip for August 20th, so, she's checked everything, so that's good. I like that. That's no problem. So, like I said, saving text and have people text you versus an over-the-phone confirmation is, plus I know when I get those reminders, because as soon as I see the return flight, I automatically put it in my flights on my plane finder app, so that I get, it kind of helps me when I look, because I look at every week on Sunday, I look at my plane finder app, okay, what do I got coming in? make sure that, hey, everything's still good, make sure flights have, because flights can get canceled, and you never even know about it sometimes. And if you depend on the client to tell you stuff, sometimes they forget too. So, that's why I say it's good to have a text chain that says the date, the time, what flight number, and everything else that you have. Because I've had it too where they've given me the wrong flight number. And I put in the flight number and, whoa, hey, nothing's there. So I'll say, hey, can you double check that flight number? Because I put in that flight number and they say no flight exists. So, that's a way. And that way, hey, you got confirmation. Like I said, that being said, always check with your clients. Always, like I said, and have text messages. Like I said, phone calls, you can forget stuff. That's why I don't take phone calls when I'm driving, is because, one, you have to try and make a quote when you're driving, when you haven't had a chance to look at things. Hey, what do I want to charge if they want me to go pick them up and I have to use the 101 North at around 7:30 in the morning? It's going to take me some time to get there. So, hey, maybe I want to bump it up $5. Okay? Or, like I said, clients that use me day in and day out, I usually don't even worry about that stuff. I just, hey, if I've got the time and it's there, boom. The only reason for them, I go, like, hey, if I had to use the 101 going north around that time frame, I'm going to give myself, I'm either A, going to go out early so I can avoid that, and then just, pay for it in the long run. But, it is what it is. Because that's just it too, is when you're sitting in traffic, your gas mileage goes down, and you're spending more money on gas in the long run. So, I found that, hey, maybe going an hour too early saves me that time, and that's just it, it is what it is. Also, I think I'm going to end that with this right now. Basically, just having, remember that your fuel mileage, your miles per gallon, helps. The higher mileage. That's why when I see these trucks that are lifted, have big tires on them, and they're doing 80 or 90 down the road, it's like, either A, they can afford that, and obviously, hopefully they can, but goodness gracious, could you, I don't see in these times where where affordability is the, hey, thing right now. You're just making like I said, going above the speed limit. I do 5 miles over, I'm not going to lie, I do. And then if I get in the carpool lane, I'm between 75 and 80, just because that's what you got to do to survive out in that thing. You'll get people right on your bumper. And then here's what I say is, once you see somebody's on your bumper, try and get out of their way, because they're just going to stay on your bumper, and you're going to spend more time looking at them and not time looking ahead of you. So when you get somebody that's on your bumper, no matter what lane you're in, just try and get out of their way just so they can go, and boom. That leads to less distraction for you. Always have to look to see, hey man, how close are they getting? How close are they getting? Basically, what happens is when somebody tailgates, if you tailgate somebody, you're putting your safety and your passenger safety in that car ahead of you. You're hoping that guy's paying attention, that person's not texting and driving, that person's not looking at their phone. And that's another point I will bring up. If you're pulling up behind somebody and they're doing 65 or lower on the 60 on the 101, anything like that, and you're not in a exit lane. In fact, sometimes even, people are on their phone. It's against the law, and yet people still do it. And why do they still do it? Because they don't get caught. And I think, that's another conversation. But just remember, the more you tailgate somebody, you're putting you're putting the safety your safety in their hands. You're hoping that they're a good driver. What happens if, especially if they've got dark tinted windows, you can't see through them. And you can't see that, oh, hey, there's a object in the road ahead. You may be lucky to get to see, hey, flashing lights on the side of the road. But for the most part, you're hoping that, and then what happens? You see all these wrecks and stuff. And what is it? Somebody got rear-ended. Mainly people get rear-ended a lot here in Arizona. Why? Because people tailgate. And like I said, they're putting their responsibility, their safety, in the hands of the car in front of them. And as it's been proven many a time, you can't trust that. We're all not NASCAR drivers out here. I mean, even NASCAR. They are the professional driver, if you will. Even though some of them are only 19 years old. But, they go around, and like I said, they are literally inches off people's bumpers, and sometimes even touching them. So, they have a lot of trust in that driver ahead of them. Hey, that driver ahead of me is doing great, so we can move together, so we can maybe pass a vehicle ahead of us or whatever. But those are professional drivers. Nobody out here is a professional driver. Nobody. In the sense of driving. Okay? You can be a professional driver in the service that you give. But a professional driver, no. There's nobody out here. I would say the closest people to that may be police officers, because they constantly go through training. And I've seen it firsthand. They go through training all the time on driving. In sticky situations, and motorcycle cops. If you watch what we call Top Gun agilities test, when they're going through, I mean, they're literally got their handlebars either full left or full right, and making turns and making circles and everything else, and not falling down. Those are professional riders. Okay. You may be able to do that test, but you don't do it day in and day out. And like I said, and that's the one thing when you can tell. I can tell when somebody has gone through a course and practices. That's one of the things I admit I used to do. It's because in Colorado, when it starts snowing, most of the time your bike is in storage and won't be out until April or May at the earliest. Maybe sometimes March, depending on how much snowfall you got. But anyway, in the high country, so there used to be a course at one of the community colleges that you could go to, and that's no cones or tennis balls set up or anything like that. It was just if you knew what the skills were, like, hey, doing an S turn, doing a figure eight. I would do that. I would ride over there, do that, and make sure I could do it good. Not just, oh, hey, I had to put my foot down doing that figure eight. No, do the figure eight without putting your foot down. All that good stuff. And remembering what to do. And, remembering that, hey, when you see an object in the road, hey, you want to get up off your butt off of the seat so that you can raise that front up a little bit. And now unfortunately there's really no car course that you can take, so that's why, hey, slow it down. If people get on your rear end, let them get over, get out of the way, let them go by you. I even did that on a motorcycle. A lot of times I'd be in that HOV lane because, hey, it's a motorcycle. I would rather only have to worry about people on my right side and behind me, versus behind me on the left side and in front of me. There was hardly ever anybody in front of you because they were driving like bats out of hell on that lane. But so that's my video for today. I'm going to put this on the driver mentorship channel, so everybody in our new states of Georgia, Tennessee, those that have been on for less than a year, Florida, California, y'all get to see this and just kind of remember things. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.